Hey, it's Mark, and it's New Comic Book Day, and I'd like to run through some of the comics that I think you should pick up this week when you visit your local comic shop. First up is Two Moons. Two Moons is a Civil War era story about a Native American fighting for the Union Army that may or may not be having visions and experiences of the supernatural. It's got history, it's got action, it's got suspense, and the supernatural element as well. Really, really dug it. Highly recommend it. It's published by Image Comics, written by John Arcudi. Artwork is by Valerio Giangiordano. But Two Moons gets a big thumbs up from me. Highly recommend it. Next up, book I've been excited about for a while. It is Stray Dogs, issue number 1. This is written by Tony Fleecs, artwork by Trish Forstner. Amazing artwork by Trish Forstner. This has been in the works for quite a while. In fact, I was at an industry meeting in 2020. I think it was February 2020, and Tony Fleecs was there, and all 5 issues of Stray Dogs were done. But we're just getting issue number 1 now. This is being billed as Lady and the Tramp meets Silence of the Lambs, or as Brian Michael Bendis calls it, The Secret Life of Pets meets Seven. If you're a dog lover, you're going to love it. I am not a dog lover. I'm not a dog hater, but I still enjoyed it as well. And as I said, the amazing, amazing artwork by Trish Forstner, who is an animator as well as an illustrator, is worth the price of admission. I think you're really, really going to dig it. And depending on when you're seeing this video, we are doing an interview with writer Tony Fleecs on our weekly Facebook Live show. That's 7 p.m. on Wednesday nights Eastern Time over at facebook.com/alteregomaniacs. Next up is Oingo Boingo. Let me see. This is called Rock and Roll Biographies. Oingo Boingo. So we've seen this done many times before with rock and roll comics. Through the years, it's been quite a while. I want to say the 90s was really the last time that we saw something like this. But I am a big fan of the music of Oingo Boingo, as well as the movie scores of frontman Danny Elfman, who composed the music for Batman, for the Sam Raimi SpiderMan movies, lots of Tim Burton stuff, lots of Sam Raimi stuff. Actually won an Oscar or was it an Emmy? Won an Emmy for the theme to The Simpsons. Very talented guy. This is definitely a throwback to that 90s period of rock and roll comics. It is in black and white. All kinds of crazy artwork, and the layouts are amazing. You get some word balloons, you get some typeface, you get all kinds of stuff. It is jam-packed with the history of Oingo Boingo. So if you're a fan, I highly recommend you check it out. The last single issue new release I want to bring up this week is Nuclear Family, issue number 1, written by Stephanie Phillips, artwork by Tony Chastain. And we were fortunate enough to chat with writer Stephanie Phillips last week, and that video is up here on our YouTube channel. This is a story set in the late 1950s during the Cold War in Milwaukee, and it's the typical 1950s American family under constant threat of war with the Soviet Union, and that may or may not happen in this first issue, but with a twist, with a Rod Serling, Philip K. Dick, M. Night Shyamalan twist. This is actually based on a short story by Philip K. Dick, and in talking with writer Stephanie Phillips, she pointed out that it is a very, very short story, just a couple of pages. But she's turning this into a 5-issue, I believe, miniseries with amazing artwork by Tony Chastain, who I first encountered when he was penciling some Star Trek comics over at IDW. This is published by Aftershock. Highly recommend it if you're a fan of The Twilight Zone or The Man in the High Castle. Lots of great graphic novels this week for you to pick up as well, including the first volume of The Department of Truth by James Tynion and, come on, buddy, Martin Simmons. If you're a fan of the X-Files, this is a no-brainer. You want to check out The Department of Truth. And it was just announced last week that this has been optioned for a TV series. So get ahead of the game with that. We also have the first volume of Christopher Priest's Vampirella series. Now, I have zero interest in the character of Vampirella. I always looked at it as kind of a TNA character. I do like vampires. Don't get me wrong. I do like some TNA. But it just didn't work for me as it was done before. However, Priest is an amazing writer and can tackle almost anything, and what he's doing with Vampirella deserves to be checked out. So if you've had a casual interest in the character, or if you like well-written horror comics, adventure comics, action comics, then you should check it out. We finally get the collected edition of SpiderMan Bloodline, written by J.J. Abrams and his son Henry, with artwork by Sarah Pichelli. This was a 5-issue series that took many, many moons to be completed for a variety of reasons, but now it is over and done with, and this is probably the best way to enjoy it in collected edition. A story that is not set within the continuity of the Marvel Universe or the Spider-Man universe, but if you're a Spider-Man fan, it's a must-read. And finally, we get Tales from the Dark Multiverse, the softcover collection. This thing is honkin' huge. The first 5 Tales from the Dark Multiverse stories, which are Nightfall, The Death of Superman, Blackest Night, The Judas Contract, and Infinite Crisis. $25 gets you this monstrous softcover of Elseworlds-esque DC stories set within the Dark Multiverse. Highly recommend it, especially if you're a DC fan. So that's it. Those are the books that I recommend you pick up at your local comic shop on this new comic book day. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's been a while. Hopefully I'll be back sooner rather than later, as long as we get some positive feedback on it. If you don't want to see me again, well, keep that to yourself. But if you do want more videos, please let me know in the comments, and maybe what you'd like me to talk about. And if you'd like to receive notification when a new video is posted, make sure you hit the subscribe button to be notified. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, be well, and be kind to each other.